The team is unchanged from that which won at Newcastle last week to make it 2 on the trot. Nick Bambi is back from suspension, but makes it only as far as the bench, and doubts about Craig Short and Kevin Campbell have both cleared up. Campbell, the latest Goodison hero, with 4 goals in 4 games. In the opposition, one who used to hold that status, Graham Stewart, whose 32 goals in a century of appearances included 2 on the last day in the 93-94 season, which saved Everton's place in the top flight. He's now joined in the Charlton lineup by 2 other ex-Evertonians, Carl Tyler and Eddie Youds. Youds one of 3 changes in the team compared with that defeated by Spurs on Tuesday. Danny Mills and the experienced Mark Bright are the others. And good opposition support. The club have paid some £25,000 to bring them up here, and they've responded with great willingness. Referee, with his usual smile at the start, is Paul Alcock. And the home programme even refers to this as a cup final. The advantage at the moment is with Everton. And they may well feel that a victory will be good enough for safety. But it's still very much in Charlton's hands as well to save themselves. Going to be a good contest between these two. Bounced kindly initially for Campbell. And as you saw, he stepped on the ball. Extra weight of challenge initially by Unsworth, but he'd come back by Pringle. Those who are to survive will need plenty of that. The flag has stayed down, and here's Campbell, who doesn't take the chance. Andy Pedersen got to him very quickly. It's a corner. Campbell surprised to find himself all alone and onside, but he very quickly had company from Andy Pedersen. And the goalkeeper did well. Pringle comes to cover the near post. Plenty of Evertonians forward. Craig Short. Here's Keith Jones for Charlton. A lively opening 10 minutes. Lacour. Well, the referee was the closest person other than the 2 contenders to that incident. I have to say that Keith Jones was a little unlucky from our angle. That's Campbell. And Youds, Pedersen. Ooh! Well, he puts his arms out, disclaiming the moment, Pedersen, but a message there for every goalkeeper in the country. That is not the position to bring the ball back under your favoured boot. Nearly cost him. It was a quite ridiculous decision by the goalkeeper, and he's unbelievably lucky. But still, he did save his side a few moments earlier. Mark Bright struggling to get in the match so far. Here's Dacour. That's a good touch by the Frenchman. And then he wasted it. Kinsella looks for Pringle. No support for Pringle in the middle. Bright was behind him. Watson. No handball. This is Hutchison. And he gets it through. John Hutchison. I have to say, it looked a little suspicious as he took possession here. Well, he knocked it down with his forearm. And I'm a bit surprised that he was allowed to go on. But he did go on, and the shot really went through Pedersen. Charlton were extremely unlucky then. But their goalkeeper will not look back on the moment with any satisfaction at all, I'm afraid. Campbell. 2 handballs, makes no whistle. Hutchison. Not a bad try. Quickly it's all changed for Alan Kervis's team. Campbell. Rufus got himself on the wrong side. Campbell has got himself into space. Took one extra touch too many, but was able to recover. And Youch looks back and says, where were you all? 5 in 5 for Kevin Campbell. And the man on loan from Trabzonspor has succeeded where many who have cost a lot of money so far haven't made a big reputation for themselves. He has, but how he was allowed the second chance and how the shot got through, Charlton defenders and goalkeeper would know. He went down, Pedersen, for the first shot. Rufus was on the deck and nobody covering across the middle. Tyler just watched it in. 2-0 to Everton. Pringle, and the verdict goes against Hutchison. Eight Charlton players in attacking position. That's apart from the one taking the kick, Mark Kinsella. And here's Pringle! Good save by Mara to an acrobatic attempt by Martin Pringle. All made in Scandinavia, but it was a classic overhead and a very good tip over. Tyler couldn't get to it. Neither could Youch, who felt he was pulled a bit. No reaction from Walter Smith, but he could have cut and be pretty happy. Oh, goodness me, that was a bit sharp, and will produce a booking for Weir. The bookings count too much at this stage of the season. Seller will take. Charlton supporters will hope. Again, mass ranks of red. Stewart! Oh, he's unlucky. Just wide of the far post from his point of view. Hit it well as it came out to him. And I don't think Murray would have got there. He certainly wouldn't have. There's Jeffers. And still, oh, he's as unlucky as Stewart was at the other end. Maybe even more so. The Corps who supplied, and supplied well. And Jeffers' first touch was excellent. And it was about a ball's width. Perhaps a little more wide of the post. Well, I have to say, my sympathies are very much with Alan Kervishley. His side has played well, but they're 2 down. The first goal scored by Hutchison, and the second by Campbell. The first following what looked like a handball. Charlton, for all their possession, didn't create a sufficient number of chances, but they've still played the better football in the first 45 minutes. It's 50 years since Charlton Athletic won on this ground. Haven't been too many fixtures in that period. First injury of the second half is to Richard Rufus. It's only the 10th meeting. Eyes on the ball all the way and slight lead with the arm. Don't think it'll be too long though before there'll be a substitution from Campbell. Not because of this injury, but maybe he needs to change in attack. All the substitutes warming up. John Barnes among them. And he's back on again. Richard Rufus. Jeffers. Campbell. Scott Gemmell has come up as well. Here's Campbell! It's just too easy. Three-man break. A third goal conceded. And Charlton, although they got 4 men back, just couldn't pick up Campbell. He just glances the ball in from Francis Jeffers' cross to make it a 3-0, and his 6th goal of this lone spell of such great benefit to Everton. Barnes wants to take the kick. Hunt. Pringle. That's a good ball back. Barnes! Well, it was a good chance for John Barnes, but he didn't really drive through the ball. Dare I say that about the England international, but that certainly was the impression. Maybe came too soon after coming on. Barnes. Better header than shot. Youds! Came off David Watson. Got up well. The distance on the punch and the shot came back from Youds. There's a flag up on the far side, so a free kick, not a corner. Pringle. Barnes. Old memories of across Stanley Park. Making their play with the crowd, but he's finding people in space. Craig Short conceded the corner. Pulled a few strings since he came on. Had one shot which wasn't memorable and one header which was good. Youds forward again. Seller is the back player. And there's a break with Campbell, and it's on again as Charlton have so many players forward. And here's Jeffers, and it's 4. It's a fine goal. Quick break, very well finished by the 18-year-old, but really suicidal by Charlton Athletic. Look at the run by Jeffers, and quality of finish that belies Jeffers' years. It's all rather depressing for Charlton supporters, but it's not going to be all over as a result of this match. There's still 3 to play. Charlton really can't afford to concede any goals, any further goals. They're clearly not going to win the fixture. They weren't going to get anything out of it once the 3rd goal went in. It's now more important that they're aware of the goal difference, and they're going to be given an opportunity here with Pringle going down under pressure from Unsworth. Well, it was a bit of a touch, but no more, and Pringle was going in to him, but Charlton deserved a little bit of fortune. Stewart will take. And he drove it in with some aplomb. So he scores against his old club. Who is to say whether at the end of the season that might not prove to be an important goal. Walter Smith with his number 2, Archie Knox there, leaning on him a bit. Mills. Now the ball's been passed around, but nobody's been drawn out of position yet. Powell. Barnes. Teasing. Oh, that was a real chance for Hunt. Beaten everybody else, and if he'd have got the touch right, Murray wouldn't have had much chance. Huge applause for a 4-1 victory. Walter Smith won't concede that he's safe, but he may well be. Alan Kerbishley can once again say that the score was harsh on his team. First time since October 1996 that Everton have managed 3 consecutive victories. And their team is being well applauded. But the question of the afternoon, which was the more crucial? The handball, which led to the first goal, or Charlton's lack of a cutting edge. Final score with a delighted Kevin Campbell applauding the crowd who applaud him. Everton 4, Charlton 1. People say that over a season you get the rough and the smooth, but sometimes breaks can go against the team. Would you admit that one did against Charlton for the start of your scoring spree?
Yes, it did. You know, we got a break. The ball, I think, did hit Don Hutchison in the hand. I don't think it was an intentional one, but the referee played on, and that gave us a break. But you know, from our own point of view, we would look at a lot of other occasions over the period of the season where we've maybe not had that break. And you know, if they do ease themselves out, or if that one helped us today, I think we could say there was a fair balance over the season.
Dave, everyone's smiling around here tonight.
Yeah, there's been an awful lot of pressure on the lads leading up to this game. Everyone's put it down to, you know, if you win today, you're safe, and if you lose today, you're back in trouble again. But I thought we coped quite well today. The lads took the chances away very well, and we defended great as well. So overall, a lot of pressure off the lads. Although it's still not mathematically safe, it's gone a long way to making sure we will be.
Walter Smith needed some help at Everton because after Duncan Ferguson, it maybe was difficult for him to get a centre forward with a bit more experience. The kids have come in and done pretty well, but you know, coming into the run-in now, it was important to get somebody with a bit more know-how, and I'm pleased he come from me.